Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, NIW Approved. You're all welcome. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Today, I would like to see some of the questions you may have regarding your immigration cases or any area that might be bothering you. My name is Gertrude Noha, and I am an immigration attorney. I've been an immigration attorney for over 13 years, going to 14 years, and we've been able to help tons and tons of clients navigate the EB2 NIW Green Card process. So thank you for joining this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. And if you have any friends that need to be here, feel free to, have them join. And hopefully I'll be able to, help them with some of their immigration questions. And also feel free to like and subscribe and of course share. So today hopefully we'll be able to do something very substantial with regards to the EB2 NIW Green Card. So basically what I would like to do is to definitely just do a little talk first on some of the issues that a lot of people are very worried about. And one question that's been very troubling is the issue of the new administration that's coming in on the 20th of January 2025. How will the new administration's policy impact the EB2 NIW Green Card process? So that's a lot of questions that we've been seeing, and people are very, very concerned about those things. And by God's grace, what I want to do is just to give you some of what we think might, happen with regards to the EB2 NIW Green Card process. So feel free to reach out to your friends and have them join us. I'm also, like I said earlier on, I'm going to be taking all your green card questions or even any question that is of concern to you with regards to U.S. immigration. My office is located in Manhattan, New York, and I'm licensed to practice law. We service clients all over the United States and outside the United States. So we are a global law firm. And if you need to contact me, my phone number is 212 971 9704. That's going to be down there in the chat so that you can get access to that. Also, you can go to my website if you need your case evaluated, and it's go-attorney.com. Once again, you're welcome. So I'm just going to focus on how some of the Trump policy could actually impact the EB2 NIW process and what actions you can take as an applicant, someone considering applying for the EB2 NIW Green Card. As stated earlier, these are just speculations. There's nothing concrete out there at this time, but we're piggybacking based off of what happened during the first era. So one thing I think, and these are my opinions, we may see mandatory interviews for employment-based green cards. Yeah, that's likely to be reinstated. Currently, there are interviews, but not a lot. At least from my own experience as an attorney who is specialized in the EB2 NIW Green Card, we don't see a lot of green card or adjustment of status interviews. They are very few and in between. So, but there is that anticipation that it might become a mandatory thing where you would have to go through an interview for the adjustment of status in order to get your green card. So what do you need to do with regards to that? So I would say number one, if you have to go for any immigration interview, please take that interview very serious. You never want to play with an immigration interview. You always want to be prepared. You always want to go with all the documents that's been requested for. And if you don't feel you can handle it yourself, yeah, you can actually retain an attorney to go with you, even if you did some part of it yourself. You should definitely get an attorney to go with you, and you definitely want to get someone who is experienced. So that's something that you should really take cognizance of. You want to be well prepared for any immigration interview. And of course, just review your files and be familiar with the entire process, and hopefully you would be fine. The other anticipated um, standards we are expecting would be probably stricter adjudication standard, where these cases might be a little bit more difficult. Right now, we've been seeing lots and lots of requests for evidence. So, what is a request for evidence? Request for evidence is a request made by USCIS after your case has been filed, requesting for a document, clarification, or they're asking a question. So for the EB2 NIW, in the last 6 months or almost a year now, we've been seeing loads of RFEs. So we may see more RFEs. We may see more, with the new administration. We may see more RFEs. So how does this impact you? So the most important thing you want to do is to make sure that you prevent RFEs. The way to handle RFEs is, as much as possible, to prevent it going in upfront. You never want to put in a sloppy case with the expectation that, okay, if they send in an RFE, I'm going to fix it. No, you don't want to do that. You really want to go in strong. So for the EB2 NIW, one area that a lot of self-petitioners are not doing very well is the area of the proposed endeavor. Most times self-petitioners think that the proposed endeavor is their specialty. So for example, you might be maybe a mechanical engineer. Your proposed endeavor, not necessarily the specialty, right? It is the specialization, the area that is your focus, the area where you're making a difference, right? So failure to really spell out your proposed endeavor could be very problematic, and that could actually trigger an RFE. Another area where RFEs could really be triggered would be, for example, if some of the material or important evidence is missing, maybe your degrees or even any particular document that could really, really help your case. So once it's missing, USCIS may request for evidence if they feel they don't understand what you're saying, or it's too technical, or even failure to show something like your future plan. What do you plan to do in the United States after you get your green card? Things like that could actually trigger RFE. So going in, you really want to make sure that your case is strong. That's just how you try to prevent it as much as possible. And one other way, I think, based on my experience, that really makes your case very strong, is to go in for a consultation before you even start any case. It's very important that you do a consultation. Very, very important. Listen, even if you're going to do this case yourself, it's good for you to seek some sort of evaluation from an experienced attorney that does the EB2 NIW, and then they will be able to tell you if you have enough credentials to match up the eligibility requirements. Going in blindly is not the best, so I highly recommend that you do a consultation. We do a lot of these consultations, and for us in our firm, you really cannot go wrong with a consultation. Why? Because even if you don't qualify, we would sort of map out a strategy for you to start working on areas that could really help you and enhance your eligibility. Now, what if you do your best and then you get an RFE? Well, that's not the end of the world. So all you need to do is, if you're a self-petitioner, you can choose at that point to work with an attorney, because that's your last opportunity to fix the case. You could choose to work with an attorney, and I highly recommend that. We have had so many clients come to us at the RFE stage, and yeah, we always do the consultation first. If we feel we can make a difference, definitely we'll go ahead and take on the case. So at that point, when you get an RFE, you really want to give in your very best, provide all the documents they're requesting for, because failure to, provide, answers to USCIS requests would trigger a denial, and that's not what anybody wants. That's not what you want. So that's something you really, really need to pay attention to. And if you have any question, you can start putting in your question. And I would like to, hello, I see Ayo. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please, guys, I want you to put your name on the chat, and just say hello. Let me know where you're joining from. I'm just going over some things. And once I'm done, I'm going to start taking on questions. If you have any question, please feel free to put in your question. And also, I would like to see or know where you're joining from. And of course, okay, I see Imabong. Hello, thank you for joining. And those of you that are existing clients, thank you for coming in. And I'm sure this will really be helpful to you. We've been talking about some anticipated changes that could affect the NIW EB2 Green Card process. So we just said there's going to likely be increased requests for evidence. That's something that's already happening. So we might likely see more of that. We might also see stricter adjudications. Okay, so just tightening everything. So how does this impact you? It means that you need to be more careful before you put in that case. You need to make sure that your case is really very strong. One thing that I do during my consultations is to make sure that we look into the strength of your case. We look into the weakness, and then we make a determination as to your eligibility. And then finally, there might be increased denials. Again, we don't know, but there could be increased denials. And the fearful thing about this is, I know during the last administration where cases were denied and they were referred to the immigration judge. So what this means is that you don't want to put in a case that's not strong. You want to make sure that your case is strong. Again, for me personally, I don't see that the EB2 NIW is going to be wiped out. Some people have that fear. I think it's going to continue, that this green card pathway is going to continue. It's a very good green card pathway, very appropriate for scholars, international students, professionals, researchers, scientists, and we've used it very much in our practice. And we have loads of clients who are here in the United States leveraging, enjoying their profession because of this pathway. So I don't see that it's going to be terminated. However, things might just be a little bit stricter. And that does not mean you cannot get your case approved. Your case can still be approved. You just need to make sure you're working with the right law firm. For us, this is what we do. We do this day in, day out, the EB2 NIW. In fact, just yesterday, we got some cases approved. One of the clients, he's an engineer, and the other guy is a medical doctor, and both cases were approved. So we're very thankful to God for that. Yeah, feel free if you have any question. I see Ayo, you say you're joining from Washington. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I have this question from Ayo. I'm going to start taking questions now, and feel free to ask any question you want to. Ayo, you said, my question is that I saw an online master's in epidemiology program. Will that be good enough as per our conversation yesterday, considering that I have an MD, MPH, and BSc? Awesome. Yeah, you are already very loaded. I mean, you have a medical degree from outside the United States. However, one thing about the EB2 NIW, you're basically telling the government that you want to come into the United States to work as a certain professional in a specialty. So if you are coming in to work as a professional, you must be licensed already in that field, right? Because guess what? If they give you the green card, you should be ready to go. So in your own case, Ayo, you do have a foreign medical degree, meaning that you're not yet licensed to practice medicine in the United States. So you'd have to take some of your exams. But you do have a master's degree in public health. So, yes, you can use the master's degree as your advanced degree. So, to that extent, you can definitely move forward with your NIW EB2 application, assuming that every other thing is okay. So if you want to like move forward with getting more degrees, there's nothing wrong with that. However, not the threshold. So under the law, you could have an advanced degree or show that you are a person of exceptional ability. Yeah. So how does the law define advanced degree? Advanced degree under the law could be a doctoral degree, PhD degree. It could be a master's degree, and it could also be a bachelor's degree with 5 years of work experience in the specialty that you seek to come into the United States to work in. Very important. In other words, you cannot come in here saying, "Oh, I have a medical degree," and then I want to work in journalism. Like the degree must match the specialty. So that's very, very important. So Ayo, I hope that that actually is very helpful to you. Another thing I want to say about the advanced degree is that if your degree was obtained outside the United States, you want to make sure that that degree is evaluated. That's very, very important. If that degree is not evaluated, it's unlikely that that case will ever be approved. And when it comes to evaluation, you have to carry out that evaluation using an American evaluation company. I've seen cases where clients telling me that the evaluation was done in Canada or even in the UK. No, you cannot use those evaluation. You have to make sure that the evaluation is done by a US company. Okay, this question says, okay, still Ayo. Okay, my MPH was in global health leadership. It's more tilted towards administration. When it comes to NIW, I mean, personally, you have a master's degree. So I think the most important thing you have to do now is to flesh out what the proposed endeavor is. If you said your master's degree is in global health leadership, so the question is, what is the proposed endeavor? What problem are you coming to solve? Leadership could be very broad, right? So you want to really narrow it down to the point where you can really establish your proposed endeavor. So again, the issue of proposed endeavor has been something that a lot of people get it very wrong, and it could be really tricky. Your proposed endeavor is that specialty, that focus, that thing that you're coming to do in the United States, okay? Your proposed endeavor does not necessarily mean your specialty, okay? And sometimes it may not even be what you're doing currently on your job. Sometimes it could be, it depends. There are a lot of factors that go into the question of your proposed endeavor, and that's definitely something that would be fleshed out during a consultation. Okay. I see you saying here per our conversation. I'm currently out of status, so I was hoping to get a master's in epidemiology so that I can focus on infectious disease. That is amazing. So now understand that with the EB2 NIW process, is a two-step process where you have to get the I-140 approved. And then once the I-140 is approved, you would then move to your green card, stage. Now, if visa is available, currently for the EB2 visas are not available currently. So if visas are available, you would do what is called concurrent filing. In other words, you would do your I-140 and your what's it called, your green card application together. But once the visas are not current, then you would just work towards getting the I-140 approved, and thereafter you would then put in the green card application. Why am I bringing this up? Now, if you are currently out of status, you may get your I-140 approved, but that does not put the green card in your hand. You see it? That doesn't put the green card in your hand. You see, because you are already inadmissible. You understand? You may be approved for the I-140, but there are other criteria for you to get the green card. So in your own case, you're currently inadmissible because you're no longer in status. So I would recommend that the first thing you should do is to try to get back in status. And as an international student, you can seek for reinstatement. Definitely, you can seek for reinstatement. And I don't know how long you've been out of status. You can definitely seek for reinstatement. And then once you are reinstated, that would put you back in legal status. And then once the green card the I-140 is approved and green card becomes available, you can then move towards seeking a green card. Okay, Orie, you just joined a few minutes ago and you asked a question. Your question is, what is an RFE? Okay, so an RFE is a request for evidence. R stands for request, F for, and then E, evidence. So that would normally come up where when you submit your document to the USCIS, that is the agency in charge of adjudicating all these immigration applications. So rather than them, if there is some kind of inadequacy, say for example, you're missing a document or you're not meeting the legal criteria, it's a sort of last chance approach or an opportunity that's given to you to rectify the problem, if that makes sense. So I think it's a good thing and it's a fair thing from USCIS, given the fact that some of these applications are very expensive, very expensive. So if you say you're missing just one document and they would deny your case, then you'd have to go refile and all that. So they sort of give you an opportunity. They write you a letter and say, hey, we need this and that, or we don't understand this. Can you explain this? So it's a sort of last chance approach before your case is denied. I take RF serious. Never play with it. Never look low on it and just treat it anyhow. Normally, they would give you a timeline. Sometimes they might give you 30 days, they might give you 87 days. I don't know, depending on what they give you. You want to make sure that you treat that letter. You want to make sure that by the deadline, you're meeting that deadline. You really want to meet that deadline, or else you're going to run into denial. All right, Adiola, thank you. I see you joining from New Hampshire. Wow, Veronica Martin. Oh, from Jamaica. Awesome, awesome, Veronica. Oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so happy to see Veronica. She is one of our success stories, came into the United States, and today she has a green card, and she is joining from Jamaica. Veronica, God bless you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to really, really serve you. And today you are able to go see your family in Jamaica. Guys, this is what this is all about. The ability to get the green card. That's what we help you do. Now, with this green card, you get to work here in the United States. The United States is one of the best countries in the world. And not only that, you are able to travel and then come back without fear. Sometimes we see clients telling us, hey, I want to travel. I want to travel. And guess what? They're scared because there's that fear that they may not be able to come back. When you have a green card, that level of fear is really down, and you're likely to go in and out, visit family, and just enjoy being a permanent resident of the United States. That's the beauty of what we do. All right, I'm gonna take. I see Love from Arizona. Thank you, Love, for joining. God bless you. Okay, I see a question from Kenny Cloud 22. Kenny, I'm gonna read your question now. It says, I would like to apply for NIW. However, I don't know if I have the profile. I hold a bachelor's degree with a first class and only one award with one publication. I'm currently pursuing my PhD in please, Kenny, can you let me know which your field? Are you in the engineering? Okay, you said I have worked as a chemistry teacher before coming to the United States. All right. I just first of all want to say congratulations for being a first class degree holder. That's a wonderful thing. That's something I would really consider to be a plus when it comes to the NIW. So the first thing you want to do, Kenny, is to make sure that you do a consultation to determine your eligibility. But just looking at your case right now, you have a bachelor's degree. So for the EB2, you need to show that you are a person of exceptional ability or you have an advanced degree. And under the law, an advanced degree could be one of three things. One, bachelor's degree with 5 years of work experience in that field. Two, a master's degree or a PhD degree. So it could be one of three things, okay? Now, once that is satisfied, the next step is the national interest waiver criteria, which has three prongs, and you have to meet all three prongs. Number one, you have to show that your work is of substantial merit and national importance. And then you also have to show that you are well positioned for the specialty that you have picked. And thirdly, the labor certification should be waived on your behalf. So, the third prong really is an area where a lot of people have struggled trying to show that it will be in the national interest, it will be in the interest of the US government to waive the labor certification. So right now, I don't have everything I need to make that diagnostic determination as to whether you qualify, but definitely a bachelor's degree with 5 years of work is something that would be very helpful. You say you've worked as a chemistry teacher, but I don't know how long that work has been. You need 5 years of work. I understand your situation very clearly because we've had so many clients in that situation where you have a PhD that is ongoing. You can never use an ongoing PhD as the basis for NIW. So that's out of the window. So now some people cannot master out of the PhD. In other words, the master's is embedded in the PhDs. So you haven't graduated from your PhD and you don't have a master's degree. So you are left with your bachelor's degree. Now, if you're going to use your bachelor's degree, you must have 5 years of work experience post the bachelor's degree. So you got the experience after you got your bachelor's degree. So yeah, that you have to have. Now, if you don't have the advanced degree as defined under the regulations, that's not the end of the world. You can now proceed to make it. I mean, during the consultation, your attorney, and of course, if you choose us, we will do a thorough job for you. We would now make a determination as to whether you meet the exceptional ability criteria. And I can even tell, because under the exceptional ability criteria, one of the things you have to show is that you have a degree. So there are about 7 of those criteria, and if you have comparable evidence, you can definitely use comparable evidence. So they want to see a degree, they want to see 10 years of work, they want to see recognition or awards, membership of professional organization, research, review, maybe high income, and comparable evidence. Anything that you can put forth to show that you are exceptional. Now, what does exceptional ability mean? This is very pertinent. Under the law, you are considered exceptional if you are above average. So you're not just the average Joe, right? You're not just somebody who goes to work and, comes back home. No, you have achievements under your belt. You have pioneered something. You have developed something. You started something. You have, done something that is what being recognized. Do you understand? So, yeah, if you have 3 out of 7, then you meet the criteria. But don't be too fast. You also have to show that holistically you are a person of exceptional ability. So once you have any of those, then you now move to the national interest waiver criteria, which we already talked about. And at that point, you can now determine whether you are ready to go. I would definitely say do a consultation with us. You can go to my website, go-attorney. Do the consultation because you have nothing to lose, quite frankly, because even if you don't qualify, right, we would sort of tell you what you need to do to qualify. So what we do is we look at the strength of your case. We look at your positives. For example, you made a first class. I mean, that's top notch. That's top notch. I would I would definitely run with that, and also you have a degree. So these are some things that you've given us. We don't know the details of your case, but we would look at the strength of your case. We look at the weakness, and then we tell you if you qualify or not, and then we go through all your evidence. Most times you have to come to the consultation with your resume, and then we look through, and then we're able to map out the trajectory of the case. Because guess what? Over the years, we see that experts have so many things they've worked on. You don't want to just throw in the kitchen sink, right? You want to map out the theme. What is this case going to be about? You understand? What are you putting forward? Those are things that we would help you flesh out during the consultation. So, Kenny, go ahead and schedule a consultation with us, and then we'll be able to help you. All right. Adeyemi Adeyaju, your question is if the date of filing is current, but the priority date is not current, what is the implication of this? If the person has submitted all the necessary document for change of status, that question is not clear. If the date of filing is current, but the priority date is not current. Okay, I think we need to clarify. Can some still be out of status if currently residing in the US? The question is not clear, but I think one thing is very obvious here. We need to determine what your priority date is. So your priority date is a date the government received your I-140. So that's your priority date. Now, if visa is not available as at that date, you cannot file for the green card, but you can proceed with the I-140, okay? Now, you are going to be in a queue. You're going to be in a queue. When visa becomes current, you would get that notification that visa is now available. You can now proceed. Of course, that is something you can also monitor yourself by looking at the visa bulletin on the US government website. If you are waiting for your case to be current, you must continue to maintain status inside the United States. Now, if your status is about to expire, you have certain options. Number one is that you can leave the United States and go back overseas, and then you process from outside the United States. That's very possible. If your status is about to expire, you can cross over to another status, get an employer to file maybe non-immigrant H-1B for you, or you can even just go back to school and get another degree while you're waiting. So you really have to keep maintaining status. It's very, very crucial in order for you to, get your green card. If you if your status expires, the government can only forgive expiration of status that's about 6 months, 180 days. Anything outside that, you are in trouble with the green card. So you want to make sure that you are maintaining your status while you're waiting for your case to be current. Okay. All right. I see, Kenny, you say you're joining from Missouri. That's very good. Okay, this question say, when is the best time to put in for the application for NIW? I've only worked as a chemistry teacher before coming to the US. Again, these are questions that would have to be determined during the consultation. These are questions that would have to be determined during the consultation. Very, very important question, because you do not want to put in that application when it's premature. You do not want to do that. At the same time, we've seen a lot of international students waiting to put in the application when they graduate. You don't need to graduate before putting the application. You can put in the application anytime you are, you are eligible. And the only way you know if you're eligible is to get a second opinion. Even if you're going to do it yourself, right? You do not want to sit in your your dorm or sit down somewhere and just um put in a case you're not sure. And sometimes you're doing premium processing. The filing fee for premium processing is about 2,805, and then you're still going to pay the filing fees for the I-140, which is 715, and then the 300 additional. And if you're putting in the application for green card, I think that's about 1440. And we're talking about a lot of money. So you don't want to put out such amount of money, give that amount of money to the government when you're not sure that your case is going to be approved. More so if you are you're doing a PhD program, you have 5 years. So why don't you just relax, do a consultation, find out if you're eligible, and then work towards eligibility if you are not, and then you can definitely start the process once you find yourself eligible. So there's no set time. The important thing is to just know if you're eligible. Once you're eligible, yeah, I would definitely go ahead with the application. I think those are all the questions that we have for today. Let's look through if there's any question I'm missing out. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody that's come online today. Please, I would like you to like this channel. I would like you to also subscribe. And okay, I have a question from Oladimeji Saka. It says, after our consultation, you listed 4 things to work on to boost my chances. I've ticked off 2 of the 4 bullet points, working on the other to do I have to do all 4? And how much is your legal fees? Definitely, you should contact us, Mr. Saka, to follow up with regards to the legal fees. And with regards to all the other things, honestly, I don't even remember what I told you. But if I told you to work on some things, definitely you want to go ahead and work on them. This is very, very important because personally, in our law firm, we do not take cases that are not going to fly, because that will be setting ourselves up for failure and, of course, wasting your own resources. So that's why we do the consultation. We don't take cases blindly. We really need to evaluate, because the EB2 NIW is a green card pathway that's very document intensive, very document intensive. As a matter of fact, most of our cases, clients don't go for interviews. So it's really based on what we do. The way we present their case, the way we write their story, the way we, work on their evidence and put everything together. So if you don't meet that criteria, we would not even, take on the case. We would just give you advice on what to work on. So once you've gotten those things, definitely I would say, yeah, you should go ahead and work on this thing. So yeah, says, you told me to try to get back in status, and I want to make sure the master's in epidemiology is a good degree for the process. Well, the thing is this: you have a medical background. So if you're going to be combining it with infectious disease, I think that's fantastic. There's lots of subcategories in the public health spectrum, and that would really, really depend on your interests. Okay, there's a lot of subcategories, but combining epidemiology with with medicine, I think that's a very fine combination. And I don't know what infectious diseases you'll be talking about, because again, you don't want to talk about all the infectious diseases, right? We've done cases for our clients where the client's a medical doctor also working on infectious disease. You want to sort of narrow down to a certain type of infectious disease, right? So, yeah, I think that epidemiology and medicine would make a fine combination. However, there are other, it boils down to your interest and how you want to contribute. It boils down to your interest and how you want to contribute. Again, understand that the national interest waiver, it's more of you are coming in to solve a national problem, and in exchange you're getting a green card, right? Rather than going through the entire process that it takes to get an expert to come in here to work in the United States. So in your own case now, you are showing that you can contribute. You are an expert that's going to contribute in medicine, in the arts, in engineering or whatever field, and in exchange you're getting the green card. So at the end of the day, it comes down to your interests. But just looking at it facially, I think medicine and somebody with epidemiology working on infectious diseases, I don't know which of them now. I think that will make a fine combination. And if that's your specialty, definitely that's something that would be very good to talk about. Does anyone have any more questions? All right. In the absence of any further question, it's been a pleasure talking to you all. Thank you all for coming. What I want you to do is to like this video. I want you to subscribe because we're going to be having the Q&A session every Saturday, 12 noon Eastern Time. And I'll be taking on questions in the NIW space, and also any immigration question you feel free to come over, and we can help you navigate those questions. And if you know anybody who may be needing the information, we've helped tons and tons of experts and international students. Definitely let them know. And I look forward to seeing everyone again. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. And yeah, it's a pleasure. So I look forward to seeing everyone next week, Saturday, same time. God bless you all. Thank you so, so much. Thank you to all my existing clients. And for those of you that don't know me, I look forward to working with you. You can go to my website and schedule a consultation. Oh, by the way, I have a planner that I plan to give to everyone. And this is a special planner for the EB2 NIW. All you need to do is put your email on the chat, and we will definitely send you a copy of the planner. So what the planner does is it sort of helps you to stay organized. Trust me, the EB2 NIW is document intensive, and it calls to question your career, your education. It's a lot of documents we're dealing with. It's a lot of things you're dealing with, right? So the more you can stay organized, the better. So with the planner, you are able to stay organized. Okay, so I'm going to give out, this is something that over the years, because we've done this for so many clients. I've been an attorney now going to 14 years, and we've been doing the EB2 NIW, even the EB1, and of course, other areas like VAWAR, marriage cases. So, but the EB2 and the EB1 are very special. And we have come up with this planner that will help you stay organized, just even in terms of the way you gather your documents, because there's this process where you have to bring together your documents. And so this planner is really, really going to be a blessing to you. You'll be very grateful you got it. So all you need to do, put your email down, and then we're going to send you the Dream Big planner. That's what it's called, Dream Big. Because at the end of the day, we want you to come into the United States and work as an expert. You know, if you're a doctor, an engineer, the United States is one of the greatest countries on the face of the earth. This is where you can actually get to the top of your profession. So if you come in here through this pathway is very, very good and appropriate, and you can definitely leverage it. So if you need the big dream planner, it's free, very, very free. Just put in your what's it called, your email, and then we'll send you a copy, and you should be on your way. Also, take advantage of the free tool we have on our website. We have a tool where we can just evaluate your case on a facial level. But if you really want us to evaluate your credentials and make a professional determination as to whether you qualify, you have to schedule a consultation. Thank you very much, guys. Look forward to seeing you all next week, Saturday. Thank you. Spread the word, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Once again, this is Gertrude Anoha.